Have you been feeling different lately? Like something big has changed inside you? Well, you're not alone. There's a powerful spiritual shift happening right now, and it's making people unrecognizable in the best way possible. This isn't just some small change. We're talking about a total transformation that's shaking up everything we thought we knew about ourselves and the world around us. But here's the really exciting part. This shift isn't just changing who we are. It's opening up a direct line to our spiritual guides. That's right, those wise, unseen helpers who've always been there for us are now sending us huge downloads of information and guidance. It's like suddenly having a hotline to the universe's wisdom. And trust me, the messages coming through are mind-blowing. You might be thinking, whoa, hold up. This sounds intense. Is this really happening to me? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We're going to dive deep into what this spiritual shift means, how it's changing us, and most importantly, how to recognize and use those big downloads from our guides. So, what exactly is this spiritual shift we're talking about? Think of it like a massive wake-up call for humanity. It's as if we've all been sleepwalking through life, and suddenly someone's turned on all the lights. This shift is shaking us awake, making us see the world and ourselves in a completely new way. Imagine you've been wearing sunglasses your whole life, and suddenly you take them off. Everything looks brighter, clearer, more vivid. That's what this spiritual shift feels like. It's like we're seeing the true nature of reality for the first time, and let me tell you, it's beautiful and a little overwhelming. This shift is changing people in ways they never expected. You might find yourself caring about things you never gave a second thought to before. Maybe you're suddenly passionate about helping others or protecting the environment. Or perhaps you're feeling a deep need to understand the bigger questions in life, like why we're here and what it all means. Here's a simple example to help you understand this change. Think about how you felt about your life a year ago. Now, think about how you feel today. Do you notice a difference? Maybe you feel more connected to others, or you're starting to question things you always took for granted. That's the shift at work. This change isn't just happening on the surface. It's reaching deep into our souls, rewiring how we think, feel, and interact with the world. And the best part? It's happening to all of us, whether we realize it or not. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm experiencing this shift? Well, the signs are all around us, and once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Let's talk about some easy-to-spot signs that show you're in the middle of this amazing spiritual change. First up, you might notice that you're feeling more sensitive, not just emotionally, but to everything around you. Colors might seem brighter, sounds clearer. You might even feel like you can sense the emotions of people around you, even if they're not saying anything. Another big sign is a change in what you care about. Suddenly, that job that used to be so important might not seem to matter as much. Instead, you might find yourself drawn to activities that feed your soul, like spending time in nature, creating art, or helping others. It's like your priorities are shifting without you even trying. Here's another sign to watch out for: synchronicities. These are those amazing coincidences that seem too perfect to be just chance. Maybe you keep seeing the same number everywhere you look, or you randomly think of an old friend and they call you out of the blue. These synchronicities are like little winks from the universe, letting you know you're on the right track. Last but not least, you might find yourself questioning everything. And I mean everything. The beliefs you grew up with, the way society works, even your own thoughts and behaviors. This isn't about being negative or critical. It's about seeing things as they really are and wondering if there might be a better way. Now, don't worry if you're not experiencing all of these signs. We're all on our own journey, and the shift affects each of us differently. You might be feeling some of these changes strongly, while others might not resonate with you at all. And that's okay. The important thing is to stay open and pay attention to what's happening in your life. This spiritual shift is like a gentle wave washing over all of humanity. Some of us might be riding the crest of that wave, feeling every little change intensely. Others might just be feeling the first ripples lapping at their feet. Wherever you are in this process, know that you're exactly where you need to be. As we move through this powerful shift, we're not just changing ourselves. We're changing the whole world, one awakened soul at a time. And that brings us to one of the most exciting parts of this journey, the increased connection with our spiritual guides and the amazing insights they're sharing with us. But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to really let this sink in. Think about your life over the past few months or even years. Have you noticed any of these signs? Have you felt that subtle or not so subtle push towards change? Take a deep breath and allow yourself to acknowledge how far you've come. This shift isn't always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. Now imagine for a moment what the world would be like if everyone went through this shift, if we all woke up to our true potential, to the interconnectedness of all things. It's a pretty amazing thought, isn't it? Well, here's the exciting part. That's exactly what's happening right now, all around the globe. People everywhere are waking up, asking questions, and seeking deeper meaning in their lives. It's like a global alarm clock has gone off, and humanity is starting to stir from a long, deep sleep. And as we wake up, we're discovering that we're not alone in this journey. We have help in the form of our spiritual guides. These guides have always been with us, watching over us, nudging us in the right direction. But now, as we go through this shift, the connection is getting stronger. It's like the volume has been turned up on their messages, and we're finally able to hear them clearly. Think of it like this. Imagine you've been trying to tune into a radio station, but all you've been getting is static. You might catch a word here or there, but mostly it's just noise. That's how many of us have been experiencing guidance from our spiritual helpers. But now, with this shift, it's like someone's reached out and fine-tuned the dial. Suddenly, the station is coming in loud and clear. And what we're hearing? It's nothing short of amazing. Our guides are sending us downloads, bursts of information, insight, and wisdom that can help us navigate this new awakened state. These downloads can come in many forms. Sometimes it's a sudden realization that hits you out of nowhere. Other times, it might be a dream that feels incredibly vivid and meaningful. Or it could be a gut feeling so strong that you can't ignore it. These messages from our guides aren't just random bits of information. They're personalized guidance, tailored specifically to help us on our individual journeys. They're like cosmic GPS, helping us navigate the twists and turns of life as we go through this massive spiritual shift. But here's the thing. Receiving these downloads isn't always easy. It requires us to be open, to listen, to pay attention to the subtle signs and signals around us. It means trusting our intuition, even when it doesn't make logical sense. And sometimes it means being willing to step out of our comfort zones and take leaps of faith. As we continue to ride this wave of spiritual awakening, the connection with our guides will only get stronger. The downloads will become clearer, more frequent, more profound. But it's up to us to be ready to receive them, to act on them, to integrate them into our lives. This is where the real magic happens. As we start to listen to and act on the guidance we're receiving, we'll find ourselves changing in ways we never thought possible. We might discover talents we didn't know we had, or find the courage to pursue dreams we'd long ago given up on. We might find ourselves drawn to new people, new places, new experiences, all perfectly aligned with our highest good and our true purpose. And as we change, we start to affect the world around us. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond, the ripples spread out, touching everything around us. Our awakening inspires others to wake up. Our growth encourages others to grow. Our light helps others find their own inner light. This is how the shift spreads, how it gains momentum. It's not through big, dramatic events, although those can happen too. It's through millions of individual awakenings, millions of people tuning into their guides and following their inner wisdom. It's a quiet revolution, but one with the power to change everything. So, as we stand on the brink of this new era, this time of great awakening and transformation, remember this. You are not alone. You have an entire team of spiritual guides cheering you on, sending you messages, helping you navigate this exciting but sometimes challenging journey. The shift that's making you unrecognizable, it's a good thing. It's you becoming more you, more authentic, more aligned with your true self and your true purpose. And those downloads you're getting from your guides, they're like love letters from the universe, helping you become the best version of yourself. As we move forward, we're going to explore more deeply how to recognize these downloads, how to interpret them, and how to use them in your daily life. We'll look at the different ways our guides might try to communicate with us and how to strengthen that connection. We'll also talk about some of the challenges you might face as you go through this shift and how to overcome them. Remember, this journey of awakening is just that, a journey. It's not about reaching a destination. It's about growing, evolving, becoming more of who you truly are with each passing day. It's about opening yourself up to the wisdom of the universe and allowing it to guide you towards your highest potential. So, are you ready to dive deeper? Are you ready to explore this new reality, to strengthen your connection with your guides, to ride the wave of this powerful spiritual shift? If so, then let's continue this journey together. The best is yet to come. Let's talk about these spiritual guides we keep mentioning. Who are they? What are they? Well, think of them as your personal cosmic cheerleaders. These guides are beings of pure energy and light, existing in dimensions beyond our physical world. They're here to help us, support us, and nudge us in the right direction as we journey through life. Now, you might be picturing angels with wings and halos, or wise old spirits in flowing robes. And while some people do experience their guides this way, the truth is, guides can take many forms. Sometimes they might appear in our mind's eye as a warm, comforting light. Other times, we might just feel their presence as a sense of peace or a sudden burst of inspiration. The important thing to understand is that these guides aren't here to control us or tell us what to do. They respect our free will completely. Instead, they offer guidance, support, and sometimes a gentle push when we need it. Think of them as wise friends who can see the bigger picture of our lives. Here's the really cool part. Everyone has guides. Yes, you read that right. Everyone. It doesn't matter if you believe in them or not, if you're spiritual or skeptical, young or old. We all have a team of guides working behind the scenes to help us out. They've been with us from the moment we were born, and they'll stick with us throughout our entire lives. So why can't we see them or hear them all the time? Well, it's a bit like trying to see radio waves. Just because we can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Our guides exist on a different frequency than our physical world. That's why it can take some practice to tune into their messages. But here's the good news. With this spiritual shift we're going through, it's becoming easier than ever to connect with our guides. It's like the veil between our world and theirs is getting thinner, allowing their messages to come through more clearly than ever before. Now that we understand who our guides are, let's talk about how they communicate with us. Remember those downloads we mentioned earlier? That's the term many people use to describe the way guides send us information and insights. But what exactly are these downloads, and how do they work? Think of a download like a package of information being sent directly to your mind or heart. It's not usually a voice speaking to you, although that can happen for some people. More often, it's a sudden knowing, a burst of inspiration, or a strong gut feeling. These downloads can come in many different forms. Sometimes it might be a dream that feels incredibly vivid and meaningful. You might wake up with a clear understanding of something that had been puzzling you. Other times it could be a repeating thought or idea that keeps popping into your head, no matter how much you try to ignore it. Synchronicities, those meaningful coincidences we talked about earlier, are another way our guides might try to get our attention. Maybe you keep seeing the same number everywhere you look, or a particular animal keeps crossing your path. These aren't random events. They're often messages from our guides trying to point us in a certain direction. Sometimes a download might come as a sudden flash of insight. You know those aha moments where everything suddenly clicks into place? That's often your guides at work, helping you see things from a new perspective. Here's a personal story to illustrate how these downloads can work. A few years ago, I was struggling with a big decision about my career. I'd been thinking about it for weeks, weighing pros and cons, but I just couldn't figure out what to do. Then one morning, I woke up with a crystal clear knowing of exactly what I needed to do. It wasn't a voice telling me what to do. It was just a calm certainty that hadn't been there before. That was a download from my guides, giving me the clarity I needed. The key thing to remember about these downloads is that they're always for our highest good. Our guides have a broader perspective than we do. They can see how the choices we make now will affect us down the line. So when they send us these downloads, it's to help steer us towards the path that will bring us the most growth and fulfillment. But here's the catch. It's up to us to act on these messages. Our guides respect our free will, so they won't force us to do anything. They'll send the download, but it's our choice whether to listen and act on it or not. So how do we get better at noticing these messages from our guides? How do we tune into this divine frequency? Well, it's a skill that takes some practice, but it's one that anyone can develop. Here are some simple tips to help you become more aware of your guides' messages. First and foremost, pay attention. So much of connecting with our guides is simply about being aware and present in our daily lives. Start noticing the little things, the thoughts that pop into your head, the feelings in your gut, the coincidences that seem a bit too perfect. These could all be ways your guides are trying to communicate with you. Another powerful way to connect with your guides is through meditation or quiet reflection. You don't need to be a meditation master for this. Even just taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and clear your mind can help. As you sit, you might want to mentally ask your guides for guidance. Then just be open to whatever thoughts, feelings, or images come to you. Keeping a journal can also be incredibly helpful. Write down your dreams, your random thoughts, the coincidences you notice. Over time, you might start to see patterns emerging. Maybe you'll notice that every time you have a certain dream, something specific happens in your life. These patterns can help you understand how your guides are communicating with you. Here's a simple daily practice you can try. Each morning when you wake up before you get out of bed, take a moment to ask your guides for guidance for the day ahead. Then, as you go about your day, stay open and see what messages come through. You might be surprised at what you notice. One of the most important things to remember when trying to connect with your guides is to trust your intuition. That little voice inside you, those gut feelings. That's often how your guides speak to you. In our logical, thinking-oriented world, we often dismiss these feelings. But learning to trust and act on them can lead to amazing things. It's also important to remember that connecting with your guides is a process. It might not happen overnight. You might have days where you feel incredibly connected, and other days where you feel like you're not getting any messages at all. That's totally normal. The key is to keep practicing, keep paying attention, and most importantly, keep an open mind. As you get better at noticing these messages, you'll likely find that they become clearer and more frequent. It's like tuning a radio. At first, you might only catch bits and pieces through the static. But as you adjust the dial, the signal becomes clearer and clearer. Remember, your guides want to communicate with you. They're not trying to be cryptic or mysterious. If you're not sure if something is a message from your guides, ask for clarification. You can say something like, "If this is a message from my guides, please make it clearer for me." Often, you'll find that the message becomes more obvious or gets repeated in a way you can't miss. One last thing to keep in mind: messages from your guides will always feel good. They might challenge you or push you out of your comfort zone, but they'll never make you feel bad about yourself or encourage you to harm yourself or others. If you're getting messages that feel negative or harmful, that's not your guides talking. As we practice tuning into our guides' messages, we open ourselves up to a whole new level of guidance and support. We start to feel less alone, more connected to something greater than ourselves. And as we act on this guidance, we often find our lives flowing more smoothly, with more synchronicities and lucky coincidences. This increased connection with our guides is one of the most beautiful aspects of the spiritual shift we're going through. As we become more aware, more awake, we naturally become more receptive to the wisdom and guidance that's always been available to us. It's like we're remembering a language we've always known, but somehow forgot. So as you go about your day, keep your antenna up. Notice the little whispers of intuition, the dreams that stick with you, the coincidences that make you pause. Your guides are reaching out, sending you downloads of wisdom and guidance. All you need to do is be open to receiving them. As exciting as this spiritual shift is, it's not always smooth sailing. Many people face doubts and challenges along the way. It's completely normal to feel uncertain or even skeptical at times. After all, we're talking about some pretty big changes here. One common challenge is doubt. You might find yourself wondering, is this really happening? Am I just imagining things? This is especially true when you start noticing signs of the shift or receiving messages from your guides. Our logical minds often try to explain away these experiences, dismissing them as coincidence or imagination. Remember, it's okay to have doubts. In fact, a healthy dose of skepticism can be a good thing. It keeps us grounded and prevents us from getting carried away. The key is to find a balance between skepticism and openness. Allow yourself to question, but also allow yourself to believe in the possibility of something greater. Another challenge many people face is fear. As we go through this shift, we might find ourselves changing in ways that scare us. We might feel like we're losing our old sense of self, or we might be afraid of what others will think of these changes. It's important to remember that growth often involves stepping out of our comfort zones. It's okay to feel scared, but don't let that fear hold you back. Some people also struggle with consistency. They might have moments of clarity where they feel deeply connected to their guides and aligned with this new spiritual awareness. But then life gets busy, old habits creep back in, and they lose that connection. This is totally normal. The spiritual journey isn't a straight line. It's more like a spiral where we revisit the same themes at deeper levels. If you're facing any of these challenges, here's some encouragement. You're not alone. Everyone who goes through this shift faces obstacles along the way. It's part of the process. These challenges aren't setbacks. They're opportunities for growth. Remember, this is a journey. It's not about reaching a destination or achieving some perfect state of enlightenment. It's about growing, learning, and becoming more of who you truly are. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small victories. And most importantly, keep going. If you're feeling stuck or discouraged, try reaching out to others who are on a similar path. Join a meditation group, attend spiritual workshops, or connect with like-minded individuals online. Sometimes sharing our experiences with others can provide validation and support when we need it most. And don't forget, your guides are always there to help you. If you're struggling, ask them for support. You might be surprised at the signs and synchronicities that show up to encourage you along the way. Now let's talk about the good stuff, the amazing benefits that come with this spiritual shift and increased connection with our guides. As challenging as this journey can be at times, the rewards are truly life-changing. One of the biggest benefits is a sense of purpose and direction. As we tune into our guides and align with our higher selves, we often discover a clearer sense of why we're here and what we're meant to do. This can bring a profound sense of fulfillment and joy to our lives. Many people also experience improved relationships. As we become more aware and in tune with ourselves, we naturally become better at understanding and empathizing with others. We might find our connections becoming deeper and more meaningful, with less conflict and more genuine understanding. Another common benefit is increased intuition and decision-making ability. As we practice listening to our guides and trusting our inner wisdom, we often find that making choices becomes easier. We develop a stronger sense of what's right for us, which can help in everything from career decisions to personal relationships. Many people report feeling a greater sense of peace and calm in their lives. Even when faced with challenges, there's an underlying trust that everything is unfolding as it should. This doesn't mean life becomes perfect or problem-free, but we develop a resilience that helps us navigate difficulties with more grace. Creativity often gets a boost, too. As we open up to higher levels of consciousness, we may find ourselves brimming with new ideas and inspiration. Whether you're an artist, a business person, or anything in between, this increased creativity can enhance all areas of your life. Physical health can also improve. While this shift is primarily spiritual, many people find that as they align more with their true selves and listen to their inner guidance, their physical health naturally improves. They might feel drawn to healthier foods, enjoy exercise more, or find it easier to break unhealthy habits. Perhaps one of the most profound benefits is a deeper connection to all of life. Many people describe feeling a sense of oneness with nature, with other people, with the entire universe. This can bring a beautiful sense of belonging and interconnectedness that transforms how we see the world. Remember, these benefits don't usually all appear overnight. They tend to unfold gradually as we continue on this journey of awakening. And everyone's experience is unique. You might resonate strongly with some of these benefits and less with others. That's perfectly okay. Trust that you're receiving exactly what you need for your own growth and evolution. Now, let's dive into a simple exercise that can help you connect more deeply with your guides and tap into the benefits of this spiritual shift. This is a practice you can do daily to strengthen your connection and open yourself to guidance. Find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed for about 10 to 15 minutes. Sit or lie down in a relaxed position. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, feeling yourself relax more with each exhale. Imagine a warm golden light surrounding you. This light is loving, protective, and nurturing. As you breathe, imagine this light flowing into your body, filling you with peace and calm. Now, in your mind's eye, picture a beautiful, peaceful place in nature. This could be a beach, a forest, a mountaintop, wherever feels right to you. Imagine yourself in this place, feeling completely safe and at peace. In this special place, send out a mental invitation to your guides. You might say something like, "I am open to connecting with my guides. I welcome your presence and your messages." Now, simply be present in this space. Notice any thoughts, feelings, or impressions that come to you. You might see colors, shapes, or images. You might hear words or phrases. You might just get a strong feeling or knowing. Whatever comes, just observe it without judgment. If you have a specific question or concern, you can ask your guides about it now. Then, remain open to any insights or guidance that comes through. When you feel ready, take a few deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. Take a moment to journal about your experience, write down any impressions, messages, or feelings you had during the meditation. This exercise is a powerful way to open the lines of communication with your guides. The more you practice, the easier it will become to connect with them in your daily life. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Your experience will be unique to you. Trust whatever comes up, even if it seems silly or doesn't make sense at first. Often, the meaning becomes clear over time. As we wrap up our exploration of this powerful spiritual shift and the incredible downloads we're receiving from our guides, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've discussed. We've talked about the signs of this great awakening, the nature of our spiritual guides, and how they communicate with us through divine downloads. We've explored ways to tune into these messages and overcome the challenges that might come up along the way. We've celebrated the amazing benefits that this shift can bring to our lives, and we've practiced a simple exercise to strengthen our connection with our guides. Remember, this shift isn't happening to just a select few. It's a global awakening that's touching all of humanity. You are part of this beautiful transformation, whether you're just starting to notice the changes or you're already deep into your spiritual journey. As you move forward from here, carry with you the knowledge that you are never alone. Your guides are always with you, ready to offer support, wisdom, and guidance. The more you open yourself to their presence, the more profound your experience of life can become. This journey of spiritual awakening is ongoing. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about continually growing, evolving, and expanding your consciousness. There will be challenges along the way, but there will also be moments of incredible joy, insight, and connection. Trust in the process. Trust in your guides, and most importantly, trust in yourself. You have within you all the wisdom and strength you need for this journey. Your guides are simply here to remind you of your own inner power and to help light the way. So, as you go about your day, stay open to the signs and synchronicities around you. Listen to that quiet voice of intuition. Pay attention to your dreams, your sudden inspirations, your gut feelings. These are all ways your guides might be reaching out to you, offering their loving support and guidance. Remember, you are part of something much bigger than yourself. This shift is not just about personal growth. It's about the evolution of human consciousness as a whole. By embracing this journey, you're contributing to the positive transformation of our world. So step into your power. Embrace the changes. Welcome the guidance. You are unrecognizable in the most beautiful way, evolving into the truest, highest version of yourself. And the universe, including your devoted team of spiritual guides, is cheering you on every step of the way. This is your time to shine, to grow, to awaken. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You've already taken that step by being open to this message. Now the path ahead is yours to explore, filled with endless possibilities and divine support. Trust, believe, and keep moving forward. Your guides are with you. The universe is supporting you, and the best is yet to come. Welcome to your awakening. Welcome to the new you.